Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another crime time story time with the girl Nicole. I would like to first say hello to all my returning viewers and subscribers, and hello and welcome to all my new viewers and new subscribers. So, I am here today to give you guys an update on the sad story of Orrin and Orson West. Now, I had did like a three-part story series on there because I couldn't seem to put it all in one video because I'm just not good at stuff like that, you know? So please forgive me. I am trying my best here. I am still new. So, yes. So I'm here to give you guys that. I would like to put out some disclaimers that whatever I may say in this story time today may not be 100% true because, you know, we all sometimes leave stuff out. We get stuff wrong. So try not to come for me. But anyways, I'm here to give you an update on the sad story of Orrin and Orson West. So let me give you a brief recap. So basically, um, Orrin and Orson West were two little African American boys, aged 3 and 4, at the time of their disappearance. They had been taken from their biological mother and placed with Trezell and Jacqueline West, their biological mother and father. Um, Jacqueline West being age 32 and Trezell West being age 36. Now, they also had two biological children of their own and two additional foster kids that they adopted. So then they had a total of four adopted kids and two biological, so a total of six kids altogether. So they had adopted Trezell or Orrin and Orson West, age 3 and 4, and after they were adopted, sometime later they they had said to been moved from Bakersfield, California to Cal City, California. And I do want to say sorry because I did say Cal City, Arizona last time, but it's actually Cal City, California. So yes, they moved from Bakersfield, California to Cal City, California with their children. And shortly after they moved, the two younger kids, Orrin and Orson West, they had vanished, just vanished from the backyard of their home. And dad told police after they had finally reported them missing, which was on December 21st of 2020. They reported 4-year-old Orrin and 3-year-old Orson West missing. So the dad, Trezell West, tells police that he was outside collecting firewood, and while he was outside, the boys were playing on the patio. Then he goes inside to drop off the firewood inside the home. Mom was putting up Christmas decorations or something like that, and then he went back outside after dropping off the firewood, and then he was like, "Oh crap, my boys are gone. Like, where'd they go?" So basically, he said to have been out searching for them, calling their names up and down the street for like I think he said about an hour. Um, if you want, you can go back and watch the video. I also have the clips of the interview that they gave the news about that whole first part of when they first noticed they was gone and searching for them and stuff like that. So basically, he said they was doing that. They had went out to search, and then they called the police after some time because it was getting dark and he couldn't find his boys. So that's what he told the police, that okay, so I was collecting firewood, I brought it inside the house, I came back, and once I came back outside, I was like, oh man, my boys is gone. So they basically put up a photo of the boys, I think like 24 hours after they was reported missing, which in my opinion, if they had did that before, maybe it would have been easier, or they could have got what they needed faster. But I don't know, the police be taking their time and doing whatever they want to do. So anyway, the community got involved. They were searching for these boys. They opened an investigation because they did interview mom and dad. I think they said the next day they brought them in separately and interviewed them. Well, after some time, they wasn't believing their stories. Stuff was getting mixed around and stuff. Timelines wasn't adding up. They seized phones, like all texts. They even seized like their family car. the other children were said to be taken somewhere before, because in their foot they had like a camera, and they, or somebody had like a camera, and they saw like the kids getting loaded up in the van. They saw all the kids and like the parents except for the two younger boys. So time goes by, they're doing all this investigation. They brought this equipment to the backyard of the home of the adoptive family. They didn't find nothing. It's like some type of equipment that was supposed to go in the ground, and they had some kind of like 3D lighting or something to see if there was like any remains or anything like that. They didn't find nothing. They also went out to Bakersfield opened an investigation over there because they lived there before they moved to Cal City, and so basically they was digging up something in the field or something because they got some kind of like a tip or whatever that was tipped off to them. They didn't find nothing there, so basically they was just at a standstill. They did a candlelight visual. They also had a few rewards that was put up, and prayer visuals that was done for these boys. Like the whole community was like invested in these boys, looking for these boys. Everybody was worried about these boys. They even had online groups and stuff that was also worried about them here in the U.S. and all around the world. So this was like really big when the boys first went missing. So now we fast forward like March of 2022, the parents was arrested on suspicion of the deaths of 4-year-old Orrin and 3-year-old Orson West. So yeah, they was arrested. They was brought in. They was facing charges on suspicion that they adopted boys' deaths. So June 10th of 2022, basically the suspicion stuff came out. They was being charged with that. That was set on June 10th of 2022. Also on June 10th of 2022, both Jacqueline, age 32, and Trezell, age 36, faced one count of involuntary manslaughter and conspiracy charges in the deaths of 4-year-old Oren West and 3-year-old Orson West. Now, Trezell and Jacqueline West had been charged with second-degree murder previously, and they had additional charges on them too. And those charges were 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of willful cruelty to a child, and 1 count of falsely reporting an emergency in the boys' deaths. Now, them some bad charges, y'all. Them some bad charges. Woo. These adoptive parents, oh my goodness. So, now we're moving forward a little bit because, we just got to move forward. We can't go back. We got to move forward now. Now, I am going to have some clips in here, so I will be stopping so y'all can hear for yourselves about what was really said, because they later down the road we're going to talk about more, but I'm going to have the clips here so y'all can hear for yourself, and I'm also going to have the links to where I got this stuff from in the description section so y'all can see for yourself. Y'all can click on the links so y'all can read it and watch the little clips and stuff like that. So fast forward a bit, there was an indictment that was put out, and in its indictment, the jury, there was a panel, they had a jury panel. I believe they said it was 7 women and 5 men was the jury panel. So that jury stated that there was a timeline under the conspiracy charges, because they had conspiracy charges on them too. That on or about September 1st of 2020, y'all. Oh my gosh. So that on, where was I at? That on about September 1st of 2020, to September 20th of 2020, Trezell and Jacqueline West formally, basically they form a plan to report person whose name has been redacted, which we all going I'm gonna suspect that it's the little boys, Orrin and Orson West, but they said they named the person's name was redacted for obviously legal reasons and the fact that these kids are minors and they're basically toddlers. So the names had been redacted. So they basically came up with a plan to report the person whose name has been redacted as missing on or about the 17th of 20 September 17th of 2020. An unknown co-conspirator killed another person whose name has been redacted according to the indictment. I got this on my notebook right here. So, according to the indictment, that's what that said. Yeah. So anyway, there was a gag order that was issued. So basically, there was a gag order issued by the judge, so that both attorneys on Trezell's attorney and Jacqueline's attorney, they couldn't have any comments. They couldn't make no comments on the case. And when there's a gag order, they don't really want stuff being given out to the media because the media will take it and run with it and mix it all around. So there had to be a gag order put in place to stop that and basically to keep the interrogation of the case secret. So then there was something called a readiness hearing, and that was set up on July 15th of 2022. And at that hearing, there was a trial set to begin on July 25th of 2022. And at that time, both Jacqueline and Trezell West were held with no bail. So they was not getting out of jail, which I can say like they don't need to get out of jail because they did something to these kids or they know where they at and they just just gonna take these charges because they don't want to say where these boys are at. So now we're gonna fast real forward. Now we fast forward to 2023. Now the trial for Trezell and Jacqueline West has begun as of March 29th of 2023. And I also have those clips there so y'all can see what was said there. But oh my goodness, I would like to add that while I did this while I was doing the research for this updated video, I seen something very disturbing and sad and awful because I was really hoping that these kids was just missing and the parents was just maybe covering it up or covering it up for somebody or just taking the rap for somebody or just didn't want to say where their kids was at. Like maybe they sold them off to trafficking or something. Excuse me, YouTube. But I was hoping that these kids would be somewhere. These precious little boys, these adopted boys. Well, when I was doing this research or whatever, I also saw that when they was putting together this trial, they decided to include the 4 children in the trial to come and testify, I guess against the parents or whatever. And they were saying like, these kids is minors and stuff. They probably gonna try to please the jury or, the people that they being. So basically, they're gonna try to please the court and give them whatever answer they think is pleasable. But don't let that sway the jury to be like, oh, these poor kids or whatever. So anyway, they said be open to everything. So these 4 kids are gonna be brought up to testify in the trial, and there was I think 1 or 2 of the kids said that basically the oldest boy, Oren, the 4-year-old, never even left Bakersfield. Like, yeah, he never left Bakersfield. But the younger boy was definitely in Cal City, Arizona. See, I was about to say it again. Cal City, California, 4 days. For 4 days after they moved there, he was there for 4 days. So this brother or sister named Adrian said that the younger one, Orson, the 3-year-old, was there and previous day he was there. Then he heard a thud in the night, and then after that he woke up and was like, Orson wasn't no longer there, and he never saw. He or she, if it was a male or female child, said that the baby boy was gone. Now, there was somebody, I don't know if it was the same child or a different child, because they were all set to be there to testify in the trial, said that the older one, or Orson, they saw him die. He was pale and lifeless. Basically, they saw that the child was dead. Basically, and I do believe I saw in that same article it stated that that particular child had to help assist in like taking the little boy somewhere. I don't know if I got that right, but I'm hoping I was just seeing stuff. But that's what I saw, and I'll have that same link down there. But I'm pretty sure that's what I saw, is that this child said that they had to help assist with like getting rid of the little boy, getting rid of the body, because he said he saw this child said that they saw that the little boy was dead. He was pale, he was lifeless, like just gone. And that was in Bakersfield before they even moved to Cal City, Arizona. So y'all, this is pretty sad. Like, to know that the the babies are no longer with us. Like, I was hoping that they was just missing. And I'll never forgot about this case when I was off handling my personal business, but I never forgot about this case, and I was like, I really hope, and I knew that the trial was coming up, and I was looking out for it on the news and stuff, but unfortunately I don't watch the news like that. So, I had to look it up on my phone, and then I was like, oh shoot, the trial is about to start, and I'm trying to look up the dates and stuff. But you know what, I really couldn't find a lot of videos, because they did say that they're only going to record certain parts of the trial, which is, I think, is the opening arguments. If there is a guilty verdict or something like that, when what the jury say, and then I guess their sentencing is going to be recorded, but they're not going to record excuse me, they're not going to record the whole trial and like all the evidence and all that. But they definitely had a recording of this interview that the adoptive mother Jacqueline gave to the investigators. And they said in that interview, they asked her why she wasn't like crying or something when the boys was disappeared, and she had the nerve to say, it's a different feeling than it's a different feeling than if it was my biological children. I was like, what? No way, she didn't say that. That's like cold hearted to me. You got a cold heart to be saying that. She basically was saying like she not crying for the boys because like maybe she don't love them. Like she didn't love them like she did her biological kids. So like maybe she had a different kind of love for the adopted kids than her biological kids, because that's what she told the investigator. Like when she was being interrogated and they was asking her, in an interrogation room, when they was asking her, she was like, "Oh, it's a different feeling than what I have for my adopted children." I was like, or than not what I have for my biological children, and I was like, "What?" And you know what? Like, I don't even know why I'm shocked, because that's how most adopted parents are. I ain't coming for y'all, but I'm sorry, but there is some adopted parents out there that's really rotten. That is really rotten, and they don't treat these kids right. They just take the money that they get and treat them like trash. And it was said that Trezell and Jacqueline West was getting about $4,000 a month for all them adopted kids that they had. Four of them, for Orrin and Orson West, and the other two adopted children that aren't really named well, I didn't see the names yet, but they was getting $4,000 a month, and that's what they was living off of. That $4,000, that's a lot of money. And then, obviously he probably, was working or doing something on the side as a job, because I know you can't live off no $4,000, especially not with no 6 kids. What you gonna do about the other two? How you gonna provide for the other two? But I guess you'll make your money stretch, because there's people out there that have done it. It's called being frugal, and people just are minimalists, and that's how they live. But this is all around sad, and I really do feel bad for the boys' biological family. I even feel bad for the other kids, because now they gotta be in foster care, because their mom and dad are like facing a lot of charges for what they done to these kids. Like, and now it's said that the boys is like possibly dead. Like, are you serious? Like, y'all just didn't say that, and they just let this case fester and fester and fester until now. Like, like it's just the coldness that they have to not even say, yo. And then it was like an honest mistake, I guess. I don't know, but this is just really sad, guys, and I'm like sad for this family. For the boys' biological family, the grandmas and the grandpas, they probably got over there, the cousins, the aunts, the uncles, the mom and dad. Now, it did say that I think the biological mother and father of Orrin and Orson West will be at this trial. That will be taking their seat in the room, in the courtroom. But there's also other witnesses coming in, like the brother of Trezell West is supposed to come and testify. They just got all this stuff, and I'm honestly gonna look for the verdict in this, because I tried to look for a clip of the verdict, or if they had the verdict, and I didn't see it. But if somebody knows if there's a verdict, please let me know down in the comment section, and I will do a brief update on that as well. But thank you guys for coming out, and please excuse me again. I know I probably messed up something, but I am just doing this because I'm passionate about it, and I am still new. So hopefully I get better and better down the road, which I do plan on continually this true crime story journey with you guys, because I love telling them. I love watching the true crime mysteries and documentaries and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this true crime story time with me, Nicole, your host. I like to say your host. And I hope that you guys will like, comment, and subscribe. And you guys will return in another video, because I do plan on bringing you much, much more videos. I'm not going to promise anything, unfortunately, but I am back with this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And it is not goodbye forever, but it's just goodbye for now. And I'll see you guys on another crime time story time.